Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. We care enough. We care enough. We care enough. We care enough.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first. KBLA Talk 1580, good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day, giving thanksgiving praises, asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and getting it going. We have a lot to talk about as always. This is kind of the pattern. Hour one, we look local. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive. But let me tell you, everything is kind of topsy-turvy right now because of the election. We are sliding these candidates in where we can, hoping not to run out of real estate, radio real estate, to showcase people, judges and city council candidates and supervisorial contenders, et cetera, et cetera. So that said, it's me, you, and the microphone right now, being the great time to call 800-920-1580. We will be meeting some folks that would like to sit on the bench as judges in the second hour. Hour three, we're opening up the phone lines once again. You can talk about the folks you heard from, or we will chop it up about the many things taking place on our national landscape and the global environment as well. I think you know the way in. If you're new, welcome. It's 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. No matter where you are in the world, you can hit us up there. You can also get to us through social media, which is KBLA 1580. On every platform, KBLA 1580, and you can find me at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. So, beautiful day yesterday. We'll have another one apparently today, once it warms up a bit, and then we're back to rain. It looks like we're back to rain off and on all the way through the weekend. So, yeah, we're not used to it, but we need it. And at the same time, it's rough because we are constantly hearing this conversation, which I believe will be talking even more about in this year of our Climate is King initiative, which is that the groundwater, the water that seeps in at the deepest levels, of the top layers of the earth, is being depleted. Constant pumping by farmers and other industrial uses without any regulation or payment necessary. and lots of dry years taken together has reduced the groundwater. And so when we get rain, it fills up the reservoirs and hopefully dampens the soil without too many landslides, so that it has a lot of positive impact, but it doesn't automatically fix everything. So the tendency for those of us who are not in love with the rain, and I'm from the Bay Area, so that's kind of sad because I grew up with a lot of it. We think, oh, well, it's raining, so all must be well. Now I don't have to conserve water. I don't have to worry about it. But the fact is, what it does do is fill up the reservoirs, which is a good thing. What it doesn't do automatically is replenish the groundwater. That would take a lot of rain over a long period of time and probably some conservation measures. Just saying that so you don't say, oh, let me waste water. It's raining. And also, turn off your sprinklers or whatever it is that you can do to save water, because it's coming out of the sky, something we rarely see in SoCal. Although who knows, with the climate crisis, so many things are changing. You just don't know. For those of you who missed the conversation with Dermot Givens, the attorney for representing Black Lives Matter director Molina Abdullah and Black Lives Matter grassroots, I should say, and that situation around her being repeatedly swatted by LAPD. I would suggest you listen to the podcast. It's available on our app at KBLA 1580. It is also available wherever you get your podcast for free, and it's still up on our website. And, of course, YouTube as well, which was where we are streaming right now, youtube.com. Then you put KBLA 1580. Unbelievable. I mean, I was talking to this man about what happened to him. His house was raided by LAPD, his townhouse. They had a warrant. They haven't showed him yet. It says Tyler on it, and I'm thinking, the South African singer? He didn't get a last name. He didn't get a copy of the warrant. Maybe he has it by now because the judge ordered the officers to turn over that warrant, as well as turn over everything they took or photographed inside the house. And among the things Attorney Givens said he caught officers photographing were his files on the swatting case, where Dr. Molina Abdullah is suing the LAPD. Repeatedly, they've swatted her home, surrounded her home with, people wielding guns, SWAT team members, pointed guns at her and her kids. And so just the irony of it, I don't know if it really sunk in for you, the fact that the lawyer who is trying to get accountability from the LAPD for swatting Dr. Molina Abdullah, the leader of BLM Grassroots, home, has now been swatted. Well, technically it's not swatting because they had a warrant. So swatting is supposedly when some anonymous person, and I put anonymous in air quotes because really, if you look at the pattern of swatting, which has become a big thing, remember Judge Chutkin and all these other people being swatted, it's become a weapon of the disgruntled conservatives. But it could happen to anyone in real life. Someone calls and says there's an emergency at your home, SWAT team could come. It just seems there's just no way that can be a coincidence. You're the guy that's trying to hold the LAPD accountable for swatting incidents against Dr. Molina Abdullah, to which they claim to have been called in by a teenager, but there's been no showing of receipts or proof of that, or any name. And yet here you come doing the same thing to the lawyer. How could that be a coincidence? That would make you and me coincidence theorists if we believe that, because it's just, I don't know what the odds are if it was actually unplanned, but I know they must be in the 1,000,000 to 1 range. And that they came into this guy's house. He's an attorney. He heard them coming, so he looked out and opened the door, saw a battering ram. I mean, just terrifying, right? And that is the stuff that really harkens back to the things we hear about in Central America and places, places like Guatemala, whereas, police, and they're coming after the activists, they're coming after the environmentalists, they're coming after the progressives. Even if this was some little faction or some little whatever, it's just hard for me to say error because it really doesn't seem like an error. Even if it was a thing that, shouldn't be as big as it is, where's the transparency surrounding what actually happened, right? Where's the apology for intimidating and harassing someone who has dedicated their life to holding the police accountable? Just incredible. And this attorney, I never had interviewed him before, Attorney Dermot Givens, been in the game for decades, not new to this, has been representing clients who have had their rights violated by police abuse, officer-involved killings, and says this is not completely unheard of to be harassed. But I think the part about coming in and photographing your files that say what your strategy is for winning that case, that I think is next level. So it will definitely be tracking that, and I was glad to see, it got picked up. I saw it was in the Griot, even on Fox News, so it actually got some national attention, and that should also tell you the ridiculousness of it, because at this point, I feel like the mainstream media learned their lesson from 2020, and they are not highlighting the work of Black Lives Matter grassroots or the 33 chapters or even just spontaneous, protests or actions around police killings that are not affiliated with any organization. They're, for the most part, they're just really not covering it. So I feel like that, for that to break through, it says a thing or two about a thing or two. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Crazy story. Some of these things I find hidden or not so hidden, but maybe they're just getting drowned out by louder headlines, but maybe worth paying attention to you yourself. Another scandal with our LAPD regarding naked pictures and why are dog bites going up? Some experts think it's connected to the pandemic. I'll share that and more with you. And hopefully you call me 800-920-1580 when we come forward exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
So we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but while I'm on the LAPD, and let me say this, it's not that I am anti-police. I am anti-corruption, anti-blackness, anti-racism, and the law enforcement tactics that are being consistently used both in the LAPD and the LASD have to be called out. And somebody's got to do it. We are not the mainstream media. We are the real. And so if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be us. So now there's aside from that raid, I'll call it a raid, faux swatting incident at Attorney Givens, which is under investigation, by the way. According to the LAPD, there is an internal affairs investigation and then whatever that criminal probe is going on at the same time. There's also one going on that intimate photos, which means naked in department speak, were being shared on the internet. So, and their suspect is a former LAPD officer who is supposedly sharing pictures of a fellow LAPD employee online, and that investigation is ongoing. And this is, not the first time. There's been at least 3 or 4 similar kinds of scandals at LAPD where, and it's usually, women, pictures of women who are officers or officials in the department get circulated online. Officer Brady Lamas, according to the LA Times, was charged in December by the LA County District Attorney with 6 counts of disorderly conduct for sending naked pictures of his own wife to other officers and colleagues in the LAPD. Is that culture? I don't know. And now there's this conversation going on about a woman chief because it's been actually been a conversation since last time they picked a chief. But it's also part of the scrutiny of the LAPD as far as the ability of women to move up in the ranks. How high can they go? Well, to me, if you're talking about a culture where passing around naked pictures of fellow employees is common, that is going to be a challenge for a woman to lead. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean choose a woman. I know LA Times had a big story a couple days ago about which women are eligible, who's in the pipeline. Probably the most buzzed about is I think she's deputy chief now, Tingarides. And she's a black woman who was over community policing. And there's a number of other women, a small number, who could be in position to be elevated to chief. And, you've got numerous things going on. May the best man or woman, and by best I mean most humane in their approach, most connected to community, not just in the sense of community policing, but in terms of real advocacy groups, and the most buy-in with a care first, restorative justice kind of approach, all of those things. May that person be selected. But, if a woman is selected, they're going to do their whole Claudine Gay dance about the person not being qualified enough. And that, to me, should not be a reason. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just... For me, the priority is reform-minded. Reform-minded verifiably. That's the priority. Not just, it looks good for this or that, not just because they were next in line, not just because they're, any other factor other than where are you on rooting out corruption, stopping the killing of black people and Latine people by this department, which consistently ranks among the deadliest in the United States, and really implementing a commitment to a restorative justice model. That's who I would like to see as chief of police. And I know, of course, a woman is always welcome in any high-level position if they are the best person for the job, which most of the time we are, even when we get passed over for it. Would I like a woman president? Yes. Would I like that to be Lauren Boebert? No. I need to know what woman. It's not just... Would I like to have another black president? Yes. Would I like it to be Claire Ance, Tom Ass? No, I would not. So, there's a whole calculus here. Let's go to Kwamel calling us from Gardena. Hello, Kwamel.
I hardly ever get to talk to you these days.
Why is that?
We're just missing each other. It's really strange, and I'm sad about that, Mr. Prima.
I'm sorry. I hope we can work this out,
Yeah, it's just, you got a lot of space taken up because you got new features, and everybody's loving them, and it's kind of got me sad because I'm like I thought we were like an exclusive thing. But anyways.
Oh man, I'm cheating on you, Kwamel. Wow, the accusations are flying this morning. Okay.
Yes. See, this is better living through giving LA and the rest of the country good radio. All right. So it's talking point Tuesday. Let me put a few things on the table. 'Cause I got one left coast concern, but let's go national for a minute.
Okay.
The talking pointy BS that I've really been getting driven nuts by is this open border business, because we all know who the main people are that constantly yell the borders are open borders, and it's been impressed on me that basically they're the ones, as they yell it, they make people from elsewhere think, oh, well, damn, okay, they complain about it, must really be open. They're the only ones saying this. They're making this stuff up every single time. And you probably heard about that bill that just got killed that I guess Mike Johnson and them were working on. And it was killed because Trump wanted something to run on.
Yeah, I don't know if it's all the way dead, but it's in the process of dying, precisely for the reasons you said, which is Trump's like, don't give them a win. I need to run on open borders.
Exactly. Yeah. Because some of the other shows are kind of saying that there was a whole thing about him going, hey, wait for me, like wait 11 whole months until apparently I'm in office, and then y'all can do what you want. Don't give Biden the win.
Yeah.
And it's just
even though it's really would be a win for them, because a lot of the things they've been asking for are in this bill, including no pathway to citizenship for people who are currently here and undocumented.
Yeah. Again, they're just so stuck on their narrative and their need to kind of just broadcast. It all just seems like a bunch of wanting to see the world burn foolishness coming out of their mouths. I had another one that kind of was in that same vein. It's escaping me at the moment, but just watching their rhetoric, it shows the need for this station here, KBLA, and with the doing over on some of the others, and over on XM and all that. That as we kind of listen to all these and read, what else is out there, and brothers like FB kind of rebuilding the black left, it's important that we're out there catching all this and putting together a complete game. And even what Roland Martin was doing, kind of shutting down this Mark Fisher guy, it was like some Black Lives Matter dude out of Rhode Island,
right,
endorsing Trump.
Who's not in Black Lives Matter at all, because they don't endorse people. BLM, individuals can endorse people, but the organization has a policy. They don't endorse candidates. So,
or they distance themselves from that boy with the quickness.
Well, he was never. There was never a Rhode Island chapter. So, I mean, there was never a Rhode. Anybody can say I'm Black Lives Matter, and the New York Post will quickly put you in there if you're doing some dirt, or if you're acting like an idiot. And they'll say, Black Lives Matter, try it. We should do that. Well, a bunch of us should just, no, we shouldn't. Kwamel, since you're mad at me, I think it would be most appropriate for you to stick with me through news, traffic, and sports and get your points out. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Welcome to a Tuesday, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A verdict is expected as soon as this week in Donald Trump's civil fraud trial in New York. African-American State Attorney General Letitia James wants a Manhattan judge to order the former president to pay a $370 million fine in her case against the former president, which accuses him of falsely inflating the value of real estate in order to get more favorable loans. The American Civil Liberties Union is planning to sue the state of Ohio over the newly passed ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Both the Ohio House and Senate voted to override Republican Governor Mike DeWine's veto of House Bill 68, which outlaws hormone therapies and other form of care for transgender youth. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Shop the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Valid 1/4/24 to 1/24/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's NBA teams lost Monday night. The Clippers' 5-game winning streak was snapped in Cleveland. The Cavs pulled away late in the fourth quarter to win by 10. Kawhi Leonard had 30 points. Game 4 of this 7-game road trip for the Clippers is Wednesday night at Washington. The Lakers gave up 135 points in Houston. They lose by 16. LeBron, AD, and D'Angelo Russell each had 23. The Lakers are back at 500. They are 9-13 since December 15th and showing very few signs of playing consistent basketball. Their longest winning streak this season is 3 games. The Lakers don't have much time to regroup. They're in Atlanta tonight. The NBA made a withdrawal in D'Angelo Russell's bank account. Russell was fined $15,000 for kicking a ball into the stands after Saturday's double overtime win at Golden State. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley. As the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show, Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
You like your style, guy?
At KBLA Talk 1580, we are unapologetic about amplifying the voices of those who have historically been left out of the conversation. As we approach our 3rd anniversary this summer, the problem with talk radio in Southern California specifically, and America more broadly, is virtually unchanged. All day, all night, all white. We make no apologies for our prime audience, but true to the best of our tradition, we're committed to expanding justice and freedom for all. So when we receive messages from listeners like Neil, we just smile.
I realize that I'm not your target demographic, but I love listening to your station as it is the only progressive station on the dial.
That's us. Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you for just that. Kwamel called me at 800-920-1580. You can too. Kwamel, you said you had a list and you started with open borders, and we kind of, got caught up in that one. So let's get the rest of that list.
Well, it's not one of those long lists. It's not that I don't have other people to talk to. I'm not one of those old hermits or anything. but nah. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, here we go. The infamous NTS is coming. Let me just kind of wait through it. No, but okay. So to the left coast point, and you being from the Bay, probably are a little bit kind of disturbed or sad about this as well. I'm really concerned about what's going on up in the town. Following hearing that the In-N-Out up there, not that I'm an In-N-Out eater, decided to close down because all of these In-N-Outs perform well, correct? And
yeah,
that's the one they singled out and said, no, we got to close this puppy. Simply because of the crazy break-in culture. I saw some video that showed where brothers is going, damn, as somebody hops out of an Infinity or whatever, just quickly, just kind of I don't know, almost kind of just touches the window, with a gentle touch, and the window shatters on this Kia, and then they pop the trunk and grab this person's suitcase out the back, and they drive off. And it is the strangest thing because, again, almost like the smash and grabs, it's that sad optic of a lot of times it being us. And it's like this similar shopping center where they opened a Raising Cane's up there, and I remember going up there like a year and a half ago, and it was a certain energy I was feeling. Just like I was like, man, the Oakland about to turn this puppy out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ever been to Raising Cane's down here, generally, you know, I mean, we know what kind of folks we got down here, but generally it's just not like that. You can probably leave some stuff up in your you know, the cabin of your car, and you probably be okay. Like I knew I was warned by Bay Area folks not to put anything in the visible interior. So I minded that because I said, yeah, like these Barry cats is about that life and turned up and hungry to do that.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, Cormel. I mean, what's happening in Oakland is you have this gentrification happening where there's, you know, still the poverty that's always been in Oakland, but now it's more like L.A. where it's right next to the Rolls Royces. And, you know, I think that aggravates the situation. Oakland's violence numbers are through the roof.
Oh my! I'm so sorry to hear that, because I mean, you know, those are brothers and sisters.
And robbery. I mean, they're jacking like news crews when they go out to report on the news. They'll take their cameras and their lights and all their stuff like that. That's a thing now in Oakland.
Crazy. That's crazy. But to the talking point, you know, because I'm genuinely like sad for Oakland. I'm like, yo. Just like I saw a thing about the Nike store in Watts when somebody did the whole like thing there, you know, doing all like the little hoodie run through and all that. You know, some cats that live over there said, okay, now we're gonna stand up here. We're gonna make sure that don't happen again. We want to put a stop to this because we're proud of being from over here. We don't want this complex that got built. We don't want this ruined. This is beautiful for us over here in Watts. I feel like somebody's got to kind of do the same thing, like step it up and be like,
I'm from the Bay, and I love the Bay, but the thing about it is we have had different paths, right? Where here in LA, we have had a robust gang intervention prevention movement, the standing up of the grid office, the revolt of the voters calling for care first models, and you know, we've had some strong political leadership, even though LA doesn't get credit. These things from Villaraigosa to Antonio Villaraigosa to Steve Bradford so we're benefiting from that, and I don't think the Bay Area had that same movement, and I think they are, you also had these super wealthy tech folks descending with their wealth on full blast, pushing people to the tiny corners that they can still afford. And so you have a combination of a lack of investment in peace, in communities, coupled with, a lack, and I'm not going to say that I track every bit of it, but relative what I can see, a lack of leadership around investing in communities and innovative strategies like what we've done here in LA. And, this is what you get. You cannot just arrest your way out of a situation. That is what I'm concerned about with LA, because I'm hearing more and more of that old-fashioned BS, law and order rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the good tie. I'll leave it with this to the talking point is, then of course all the troll bots, all the goofballs, as soon as they see this, their knee-jerk thing is to me to say, oh, those Democrats, oh my God, as if we go full on beat red next election, they're just gonna walk in like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this magic sweep, Rudy Giuliani, broken windows and clean everything up,
right?
And I'll be responsible. This one white guy or this one,
and who's gonna sweep him up because he's a big criminal,
or this one black trash panda right here. I just come in and suddenly it's just magically different. But no, it takes and this is my final point. It takes that community saying, no, we do want a place where we can feel good being in, and we do want this thing to be seen as better, not in the respectability politics way, but because we love the town.
But that also has to come. It has to come with resources, though. You know what I mean? You just can't. Oh, you stand there for free and guard this beautiful, complex. while
You're right.
you don't have
Exactly.
decent jobs and resources. And I know, San Francisco has this great Medicare for All thing that they do in the city, but still you've got this insane level of haves and have-nots. The gap between, the minimum wage worker or the, or the unemployed person on assistance and, the middle class or so-called middle class and upper class is just so stark. It's, we have that here too. You see, the Rolls Royces rolling by, the unhoused folks. But I also believe we have invested more in communities, and we have to make sure we keep doing that, or we're going to be right where they are.
And it kills me because it made Keith Lee run away screaming from the Bay.
Yeah,
That's what got my go-to.
the restaurant reviewer that you're talking
my
about.
God, yeah, that kid, yeah.
But
yeah,
it wasn't
he had
just
something
the
to say about
Bay. It wasn't just the Bay. He also ran away from Atlanta, right?
Well, I don't mind dunking on the South, but that's just me.
Yeah, because people were getting mad at the reviews. I mean, in the Bay, what I've noticed is restaurants just going out of business right and left. And we went to a Thai restaurant while I was there, and the guy was complaining that since the .com people left during the pandemic because they could all work from home and they moved to Arizona or Texas or wherever they moved, that they don't have the traffic, they don't have the business, so they're struggling to survive. And we're seeing the same thing in LA. I think it's because of Ozempic here that, so many restaurants are closing. I think it's Monjaro. Like, folks are just not eating like they used to. And I can't eat all the food. You notice everybody's skinny. All of a sudden, all the celebrities are skinny.
I wish it was me.
From Oprah on over. Yeah, okay. But do you really want to feel
surgery?
Do you want to be nauseated all day? Do you want to have a different relationship with food? I don't know. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that because if I was really struggling, I might consider it.
I don't want to be gaunt, but I thank you for your time. We've got to do this again sometime.
Yeah, we don't be a stranger, Kwamel.
Right now, baby.
No matter what features we may be featuring on any given day. So, to Kwamel's point, a man was arrested on suspicion of dealing $5 million worth of stolen Nike merchandise. This is here in L.A., actually in Hawthorne. The merchandise was stashed in a warehouse, according to ABC7, in Hawthorne. And detectives from the LAPD Commercial Crimes Division Cargo Theft and Organized Retail Crimes Task Force got search warrants in Hollywood where supposedly they saw this guy delivering some of these stolen goods. And he's been arrested. He said they found thousands of pairs of Nikes, plus clothing and accessories. And it added up to millions. Well, I think this is what our city attorney, Heidi Stein Soto, was talking about when she said they need to go to the people that are reselling the stuff. They need to go, if this is in fact organized crime, they need to find the organizers rather than, putting all the emphasis on the foot soldiers who are running in, grabbing the merchandise, and see where this pipeline really leads. They booked this guy, Roy Lee Harvey Jr., on suspicion of receiving stolen property, $5 million worth of Nike product. I mean, and there's always a market for it because even the gently used or pre-owned shoes are going for big bucks. Certain shoes, not all shoes. Don't take off your raggedy pair right now and try to put them on eBay. As for the sneaker heads, the connoisseurs, there's always a robust market. So, interesting. But, to me, the answer is not more and more and more task forces. But if you are going to have a task force, at least have them look up the supply chain, not down to the little, rank and file petty criminal, but up to the person that's feeding the desire for these ill-gotten goods. A great time to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double-stacked taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double-stacked taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
What's up? I'm Danelle Riley, FAMU alumni and creator of the HBCU Culture Shop. I am so proud of my new partnership with Black Beyond Measure and Target. They help me elevate community pride with my HBCU designs and continue to support Black creators and entrepreneurs with Target HBCU challenges, scholarship programs, and campus collaborations. Let's come together this homecoming season and beyond. Shop my brand and discover other Black-owned products at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Congratulations going out to Charlie Wilson. It was his birthday yesterday, and he got his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He said it represents not only the journey, but the power of resilience, faith, and unwavering support. Apparently, he had a lot of famous friends there, including Snoop, Ye, Jimmy Jam, and Babyface all showed up to celebrate Charlie Wilson as he got his star. He also, he's been nominated for 13 different Grammy Awards. He's got a Soul Train Icon Award. He's got NAACP Music Makes a Difference Award, and on it goes. Not to mention one of the best voices ever. I love me some Charlie Wilson. So congratulations going out to him. I should have been there. I really should have. Sometimes you got to do your work, though, right? 800-920-1580. That's the number to call if you got something to say. A really interesting article today is LA Times talking about how in the state of California, there is a lot of places named after Native Americans that use something that the First Nations indigenous folks consider a slur, and that is the word squaw. It's considered like the B word for an indigenous person who's a woman. And so the Native American residents of California have gotten state lawmakers, they've gotten the California governor, including and even some sign-off from the feds, to start to change these names, to take that name, that slur, off of all of these various parks and monuments and things in California. Apparently, though, officials in Fresno County are not having it. They want to leave that word there, and they're pushing back. The indigenous folks say, hey, look, when you allow these dehumanizations and slurs to run rampantly and be normalized by naming valleys and mountains and such after them, it perpetuates hate crimes and violence against us. And so they are pushing for this to be abolished, the use of this name. But apparently there's folks who say that, we want, it's always this way. It reminds me of the Washington football team. Well, that's our legacy. That's our brand. The blah, blah, blah. We don't mean it that way. It's BS. Because it's not up to you. Call people what they want to be called. You don't get to tell, black folks that we should be honored by the historia of N-word Valley. So, you don't get to tell that to Native American indigenous folks either. And I stand with those folks. So LA Daily News had a story about dog bites going up since the pandemic. I guess we're not socializing our pups. They're not around as many people, plus a lot of folks who never had dogs and don't have any experience that were lonely and bored adopted pets during the lockdown phase of the pandemic. And those folks, not only they're inexperienced, they didn't socialize the dogs, so dog bites are way up. The dog bite rate is up significantly, and it even started to go up before the pandemic. I guess people don't really, they're not really studying what they need to do to raise a dog. Like when I have one, I love my pup, but I got a professional come and help me train it because I don't want to have one of those pets that, is a menace. And I didn't realize that actually people died from dog bites. It's not that common, but there were almost 100 deaths from dog bites in 2022, and that's double since 2005. So I say all that to say, when people don't want your dog, when you don't want people's dogs jumping on you, they act like you hate dogs or you're afraid of dogs or whatever. I don't know your pet. And I don't want to be bit. I don't know you. I don't know how you socialize or train or took care of that pup. And I wouldn't let mine just jump on you. So I just want us to be more mindful. I love my pup. I love dogs, but they are wild animals. Okay, domesticated wild animals. They're still beasts. You still have to, understand and learn the art of taking care of them and training them. You just can't let them be any old way. Let's go to Deb calling us from Compton. Good morning, Deb.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you this morning?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm blessed. Greetings to the whole KBLA family and listeners and delegation. Good morning. We out here. We're strong. We're making it happen. You have a couple of housekeeping items, or as we say on the board, you have some deliverables, Miss Dominique, that you have not made good on.
Oh, that does not sound good. Am I fired?
No, but may I elaborate and
yes, please,
nudge
absolutely, nudge away.
Okay. The first thing is you were going to do a show on these girls out here on Long Beach Boulevard, Figueroa. Well, they're pretty much everywhere.
Oh,
now.
Actually,
They're
that show is
Linwood,
scheduled. That show is scheduled. It got pushed back because of the election, but that one is on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can find the date. Okay, go ahead. What are my other failings here? And I sister need to know. Shoot.
Okay. You're doing a wonderful job with the Freedmen Friday. Love it. But where are the people who are going to get our message out that we are not divided, that we do not dislike one another to the point where as Black people we cannot stand? So those are your deliverables, Miss Dominique.
Oh, okay. I know another one, but I'm not going to bring it up if you don't.
Okay.
No, but trust and believe.
Okay.
I those things that you just said, I did not forget about. We had to move the other one, the human trafficking show that we're doing until after the election because it's just so hectic getting all these folks, on, and making sure that everybody has a chance to do their campaign thing. I'm trying to find the date of it. I don't have the date yet. We were supposed to be doing it March 6th, so that may happen, but we're still waiting for a confirmation because we had to move it. But that is definitely coming. We have not forgotten that, and I think it's important too. I'm glad you brought it up, Deb.
Wonderful. And just one last thing. Biden better watch his back. Tricky Haley, that's what I call her, Tricky. Tricky Haley has a plan. And I honestly and truly believe she is going to stay in this race to see if Donald Trump can get enough conviction to where people really begin to break away from him enough for her to make it to that finish line. And if she makes it to that finish line, Dominique, I have to tell you, I am not a Tricky Haley fan at all.
Nor am I, no. But the thing about it is she has to have money to get there. And I don't know if it looks like the donors are starting to line up in, 45's camp because they don't want to be with a loser her. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's not a bad strategy if she does it, but I think she's going to run out of money. That's what I think.
That would be the key if she ran out of money. But if she does it, some money, I think the white, female, Caucasians, however you want to identify them, I think they are going to break for her in large numbers. I really do.
Well, it could happen. I mean, especially if we keep getting these terrifying stories of women nearly dying, being prosecuted for managing their own health care, their own pregnancies.
Right. And unfortunately, I think it's enough of the conservative ones, the diehard conservative, evangelist, if, that's what you want to identify them as. I think they would really break for her. And I don't know, Biden would be in a race. He'd be in a real race. I don't think he's in a real race with Trump. I really don't.
You don't think Trump has a chance? Wow. I love your optimism. I'm worried about a second Trump term. I really am.
I'm worried about the possibility of it. Oh my goodness. Worry is not even a strong enough word to say, what I feel. I just think when it comes to Trump, because he has brainwashed so many people, and unfortunately, we have so many disgruntled young people.
Yeah.
See, that's my concern.
Okay, we got to leave it there, Deb. You're going to have to call me back. Time for news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Welcome to a Tuesday, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A verdict is expected as soon as this week in Donald Trump's civil fraud trial in New York. African-American State